Hi, I'm Mackenzie at Amazing Discoveries, and I want to take a minute to talk to you about heating with wood boilers in the country. So at Amazing Discoveries, we use these two wood boilers to heat both our office building and our studio building. So they're each sized for each building, and how they work is you start a fire inside of them with wood, and there's lines that run through the ground and go to each building, and then there's an in-floor heating system in each building. So this is the bypass valve. This opens up the chimney, so when we start, we don't get a lot of smoke coming out. So we open that up, and then we open the door. And when you're starting these boilers, you need to make sure you're using small pieces of wood. So it starts hot, and you want to get the fire going nice and quickly. And then in the back of these boilers, they have the water compartment that is actually surrounding the fire that gets heated up and then pumped into the buildings, which heats all the buildings. So in order to reuse all the paper shreddings that we go through, we actually use them for starting the fire so that we don't have any waste. So we just spread those inside, and we'll open up the other boiler as well. And we'll do the same inside this one. And these boilers have fans inside, so I'm going to turn the fan on to make sure that there's good airflow when we're starting the fire. So you want to start with some smaller kindling when you're starting the fire to get it started nice and hot. So we'll place these inside here. So now we'll start the boiler, and I have a torch lighter here to help start. Now we want to split up some of the wood to get a little bit smaller pieces, not as small as the kindling, but some smaller pieces that is going to start nice and easy. So now that we have these pieces of wood, we'll throw these into the boiler as well. So this boiler heats our studio, which is about 10,000 square feet. The other boiler heats our office building, our first aid room, and our electrical room, and that's about 7,000 square feet with all of those buildings. And it heats it just by wood. Usually we have to fill the boilers, depending how cold it is, depends how fast it's going to use up the wood. If it's not too cold, like a day like today, might only be once a day that we have to fill it, every 24 hours. But if it's a little bit colder, it could be twice a day. Or if we want to keep it nice and hot, then we could fill it more often than that. But usually they last around 12 hours every time that you load the boilers. You can also use these wood boilers in your personal home to either just simply heat your home, or to use them to heat your domestic hot water as well. So right here is the computer for these boilers. It runs the fans. It also tells you the temperature. So right now, our water temperature, this is a door open warning, and we know that because we have the doors open because we're starting them. And it's 66 degrees is the water temperature. Now once I shut the door, then it'll also tell us the temperature of what is inside the chamber burning. So when it's nice and hot, that can be around 1,000 to 1,100 or even 1,200 degrees inside here. But the fans will shut off, the dampers will close once the water temperature gets to 188 degrees. And that's the temperature of the water that goes and gets sent to the buildings. So the buildings stay very warm, sometimes even too warm, because the building heats up, and if it's a warm day, it holds that temperature for a long time. So it's a very nice system. So we're gonna hopefully get this up to temperature shortly. Now it's at 67 degrees is the water temperature. And as the fire keeps going, once we shut the door and we get a good hot fire going inside, that temperature is gonna shoot up really quickly. So now that we got a hot fire going inside here, we can start adding some bigger wood into it. And we'll let that keep getting hotter, and then we can start the second boiler and let that start warming up. So there's a couple things to keep in mind when splitting wood. You want to be very careful because it can be dangerous. So when you're splitting, you want to make sure when you're swinging, you're not going to swing anywhere towards your legs. When you're coming down, you want to come straight through so that if you miss, it's going to come between your legs. Or that you're back far enough that when you swing down and you miss, you came off, it's just going to hit the ground. It's not going to actually hit you because you're bringing the axe over all the way through straight down to hitting whatever log you're trying to split. So you want to have your log sitting nice and tight. You don't want to have your hand here and then swinging on and hurting your hands. So you want your log to be able to stand there freely. Then you want to aim for an outside edge. And you want to hit square onto the log, and then it'll split nice and easily. Square, that it's sitting tight. Sometimes you'll hit a knot in the log, and you'll have to go again. And you want to try and hit as close to the same spot that you had already hit on the log, that it comes apart nice and easily. Now we can take these and throw these into our fire. And we'll take our kindling that we just split and start the office boiler. So, as you notice in this boiler, you take a look inside, there's actually a charred log still in there. That's because it was warm and the boiler wasn't running hot enough to eat through the wood the other day because we had a very warm day. And the office building was already at temperature, the water was at temperature, so it shut down the stove so it wouldn't overheat. And we ended up with a log still in there. But that's okay, once we get it burning nice and hot, it's going to take that right away. So like I said earlier, we use the paper we shred in the office, but you can use newspaper, you can use cardboard, anything that's going to burn easily. But you don't want to be putting garbage in these. You want clean wood, clean paper. You can also use different kind of fire starters. There's fire fluids. We prefer just to use the paper so that we're using it up. So this is our wood shed. This is where we store a lot of the wood so that we keep it dry. You want to make sure you have dry wood. If you have wet wood, it builds up what's called creosote inside the boiler or inside the chimney, and that can block the airflow. It can also start a fire if it gets hot enough and it starts to burn. Normally, especially on these, it's not very dangerous, but on a house, there's a potential that it can be dangerous. So In here, what kind of wood do we have? Well, mainly in here we have spruce, we have pine, we have had some birch. Birch is a very nice wood to burn. Larch or tamarack is also a very nice hot burning wood. You can use poplar or other woods like that, but you just need to make sure that it's dry and it's not old and rotting. So we have this wood here, and when we're getting low right beside the boilers, we'll take these, we'll either split them either with the axe or the maul, or we also have a gas-powered log splitter, hydraulic log splitter, that if some of them have a lot of knots, and knots are from the tree branches, and they're going through the wood and makes it very hard to split, we use the hydraulic log splitter in order to split those so that we can burn them easily. So in this building here, this woodshed, we can store about 30 cords worth of wood. Now a cord is 4 feet high, 4 feet wide, and 8 feet long. So that is just around enough for a little bit under 1 year. We go about 36 cords of wood a year. So if this was right full, right to the front, then this would last us almost 1 winter season. One thing to keep in mind is we are heating a lot of buildings, and very big buildings. So we're going through quite a bit of wood, but in a house, if you have a wood stove just in the house, you could maybe go through around 6 cords of wood. So it's going to vary depending on the amount of building space that you're heating. We're heating a lot, so it takes a lot more wood than it would just a normal house. So we can now go back to the boilers. They should be burning nice and hot, and we can load them up. So now that you can see the boilers burning nice and hot with the smaller pieces of wood we put in, we can start loading it up with the bigger logs now. And since we don't have a lot of coals in the bottom of the stove yet, I don't want to fill it too high because it'll smolder the fire and it could kill it. So I want to make sure that this wood burns nice, gets a nice bed of coals, then I can fill it right up to the top with wood. So that's good for now, it's burning nice. We'll close up this boiler and we'll shut the damper on the side. And then on the side of the boiler, you'll see the water temperature of the boiler plus the temperature inside the chamber. So up here you can see that it's at 950 degrees inside the chamber, and the water temperature is already at 77 degrees. So now with this boiler, you can see it's burning nice and hot. We're starting to get some really good coals on the bottom. So this one we can fill right up because we got a lot of good coals inside. Now one thing we learned the hard way when filling these is once the boiler gets warm, the bit of creosote around the door gets very sticky, and I got a little bit on my clothes in different spots and it doesn't come out. So you want to make sure that you don't touch the edge because it'll stick and it'll stay. So now we're done filling this boiler. We'll shut it. And on the side, like we were looking at earlier, shut the damper. And now the water temperature you can see is at 118 degrees. And the boiler chamber inside is at 350 degrees. Now that temperature is going to shoot up very quickly as it starts to burn that wood. So it's already at 370, 118 water, and it went from 60 something. So we're gaining temperature quite quickly. It's almost at 400 degrees in the chamber now. 440. So the temperature goes up extremely quickly. I'll check these probably in 4 hours or something to see how fast it was burning, because when they initially start, they use a lot of wood to get up to temperature. So one thing to note is when you're using these boilers, you'll see once they're at temperature and they're burning hot and they're burning clean, when the smoke changes color. So the smoke will be very gray or white and thick when it's just starting out, or if it's too wet, or if it's not burning clean. And once it's nice and hot, or if you have good dry wood, the smoke will actually almost go clear, like we have in the office building. The studio building is still a little bit, it's getting to temperature, but in probably 2 minutes, it'll be a nice, clean, clear smoke that you won't even be able to see. And that lets you know that it's burning well. These boilers keep up very well in the winter, and you might be wondering how cold it gets at Amazing Discoveries. Well, a couple weeks ago, we had a week of about minus 35 degrees. That's Celsius, but it's almost the same in Fahrenheit. So we get very cold. We get very cold winters, and our winters are a little bit longer. They can last from November all the way till March. We're in February now, close to the end of February, and we still have a lot of snow around, as you can see. So these will be burning till probably April. They'll start to slow down, but till April or May, we'll still be using these to just warm up the buildings a little bit. So we're gonna continue to do little videos like this, showing you the country property, how to do things in the country. We're gonna be starting seeds soon that we wanna plant in the garden in the springtime. We'll show you how to prepare your garden, and we'll keep doing these continually. So we'll see you in the next video. If you'd like to learn more about country living, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video.